Studio 3 at Abbey Road has long been considered the studio's flagship mixing room, with a stellar control room second to none. Producer Giles Martin has worked regularly in this room. We asked him what makes a great mix room and his impressions of the Waves Abbey Road Studio 3 plugin, which recreates the acoustic environment of Studio 3's control room over headphones. Giles, thank you very much for joining us today.
Very nice to be with you, Merrick.
We are here today to talk about acoustics, mixing environments. We're here in Studio 3. You've mixed quite a lot in this room, right, in the past. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the projects you've worked on in this room?
Yeah, I've been in and out of this room for probably 15 years or so. We mixed the Love album here in stereo and surround. It was really one of the first big surround albums to be mixed, I think, in this room. I think it's still one of the most successful surround albums to come out.
So Studio 3 as a mix room, what does that mean to you? What are the acoustics of Studio 3 like, or how does it make you feel to mix in this room?
I would say Studio 3 is a room you can trust, and I think that's inherently important. You need to make sure that, that whatever you mix in this room and create in this room, you can take it elsewhere and it'll be transferable. But it's more about honesty than anything else than flattery. That's what the core of a good mix room is, and that's what Studio 3 has.
Some people are in those situations where they find themselves mixing on headphones, maybe not ideally, but it does happen. What would be your concern if someone said to you now, I want you to mix this entire album just using headphones? What would your concerns be?
I suppose my concern would be, the problem with headphones is obviously it's almost like a direct injection. You have... headphones are a slightly different listening experience. If you actually think about when you have a stereo pair of speakers in front of you, you have a phantom center, obviously, L plus R equals a center image. That's what you have. With headphones, you just have discrete left and right. And so if you think about it, if people listen to headphones, the center image isn't really there. And so that's the hard thing to focus on, which sort of room and the freedom of having speakers in front of you provides. You tend to listen differently with headphones as well. It's easy to fall into the trap of focusing on one particular thing in the mix with headphones, which you don't necessarily do when you have speakers.
Last time we did our final checks in here of the plugin, the NX Waves Studio 3 plugin, you've actually popped in and had a listen. What was your first reaction?
I was surprised at how good it was. Virtualization is something that I'm always slightly suspicious of because I've been surrounded by a lot of people come up to me in the past and I can be a bit mean about it in a way. But I was actually, the work that you've done, the work the Waves team has done has been amazing. And I think I think it's really important to be honest about these things. And it's got to a stage now where it's actually become valid and viable as a mixed format for me, because you sat me down and we had a pretty good array of 7.1 speakers around us in this room, and we switched between the two, and we were pretty brutal. And it's that center image thing. That's the thing to crack, especially with mixing on headphones. Going back to knowing where you are, the center is everything. It's where drums and vocals and bass lie, and that's the modern mixing. That's where it is. It's funny. People forget that, especially when doing a surround mix, that people forget that the ambience is just an additional to the focus you have. And that's what the plugin was doing well for me, is that it gave me a center to my headphone image that was really useful. And I think as a tool, as a valid tool, it's great to have that. It's great to have that asset and that ability to open the door to mixing on headphones in a different way. And I think that's what works very well.
Giles, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.